Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Miss Eileen. And in today's live stream, I want to talk to you about making money online, particularly, but we'll also cover some other topics. And during today's live stream, I definitely want to hear from you. What are some of the ways that you've been able to make money if I'm not covering them? What are your favorite ways? What are some of the ways that you want to hear more about? So let me just start by giving you the lay of the land. I am live on YouTube as well as over on Facebook in some of my groups, as well as on my Facebook page. And I want to say, hey, to Snuggles668. Thanks so much for stopping by, Snuggles. Okay, so I got inspired for this video and I put links in the description over on YouTube. So if you want to get the links from the other videos and the other content that I got inspired by, you can go to eileen.link/2022 money. All right. Now that's just to get the links. This will take you back to a place where you can find any reference links that I mentioned today. And I see a couple more comments came in. Anytime. Hey, all right. And the forensics John is over on the Facebook side. Your information has been helpful for several years. Thank you so much. It's just great to know that I've been able to provide that information that can help. That's really my goal. All right. So I'm going to cover some things that I have tried and some things that I have not tried. Also, some things that I tried and I stopped doing because they weren't working for me. However, I want to share with you because it may work for you and your audience. Good morning, James Pruitt. Thank you so much, my dear friend. And it's been a great knowing you online. All right, so let's start off with something that has not been talked about a lot. All right. Because a lot of us have been around in this whole internet marketing space. And so we kind of know some of the things that can come up. But I want to talk about the one that has been introduced by Adam Curry and Dave Jones, I believe, over on the podcast Index, and it's called Value for Value. That's another way that we can, and let me do a little screen share. And it relates to podcasting, okay? But in my opinion, it does not have to be limited to podcasting, all right? So I just want to give you a little of what it says on the website here. And like I said, the links for all this stuff is in that video on YouTube. All right, this video on YouTube. These podcasts are set up to receive Bitcoin payments in real time over the Lightning Network using compatible Podcasting 2.0 apps. And it's talking about value for value. And one of the things that I love about this and No Agenda is the show from Adam Curry. And, Adam Curry is one of the people who was at the forefront of inventing podcasting. I want to make this bigger for you. And John C. Dvorak is his co-host on that No Agenda show. And then James Critland from Pod News is another big advocate for this. But as you can come down here, here's another podcast from Adam. And what I love about this whole concept of value for value is that it changes the wording, it changes how we refer to what we typically call tips, or, money that our audience gives us. And we usually say, you can buy me a coffee, or you can, but it's really more specific. And I think it also encourages people to open up their pocketbook or wallets when they hear value for value. I'm giving you value. You would want to reciprocate and give me value as well. And by the way, you all know y'all can do that here on YouTube. You can do it on Facebook. Value for value. And we're going to get into those other topics as well. So I wanted to cover that first because that's one that hasn't been talked about as much. And because I want you to think about reframing this concept of value for value. All right. Instead of just saying tips or, donating and things like that. Okay. So are you with me? And Rob Thomas is here. Hey, good morning, Rob. And also I may have a problem pronouncing your name. So I'm just going to say MK. Hello from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm glad you have that MK there. That makes it so much easier for me. I'm challenged that way when it comes to trying to pronounce those things. All right, so let's go into something more, I'll say mainstream. And that's one of the things that I'm sure all of you are familiar with, that are people who watch this channel and people who may find this when you are searching for ways to make money, and that's affiliate marketing. And it's one of my favorites. Okay, and here's my friend USA live stream. Happy and blessed Sunday, and happy Valentine's Day. Happy early Valentine's Day. And some of you, if you're living on the other side of the planet, may already be in Valentine's Day. So I'll get it out there now. All right. So affiliate marketing is one of my favorite ways to make money, and it's one that it makes it easier for you to get started, because once you have that audience, then you would recommend to them products that you are connected with. You have to go and apply for a lot of these affiliate programs. And speaking of value for value, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. That is so kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So, with affiliate marketing, you always want to endorse products that you either have used before, tried before, know that your audience will benefit from. I know that there are a lot of people that will promote products that they haven't actually used before, but and a lot of times when you're talking about like an Amazon affiliate, yeah, there may be products there that you personally haven't used before, but you're familiar with them. They've been recommended by some of your friends who you love and know and respect. And so in that case, you kind of get a pass because it's Amazon, right? And they have easy return policies and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about other products that are out here, softwares that you may use online. Like, for example, I'm a huge fan of TubeBuddy, and you'll see the link in the description, and also StreamYard, which is what I'm using right now to live stream. But I'm also using Ecamm Live because I am using the virtual camera. I use these tools all the time. And so, yeah, I feel perfectly comfortable sharing them, and I have a lot of experience, and I can always answer your questions. And oh, James is saying, love affiliate marketing. It's my main form of monetization. I know, James. We've been doing it for a long time too, haven't we? Right? Or we may have pivoted the wares that we are affiliated with But yeah, it's solid because I'll just give you one more benefit of affiliate marketing, even though I know this is something that most of you are familiar with. You don't have to build a product. You don't, you're just providing that value by telling people about it, by teaching people how to use it. For example, StreamYard. I'll just pick on StreamYard. And when I say pick on, I mean it in a good way, because out of my last 10 videos on YouTube, 5 of them were about StreamYard because I believe in the product, I use it. And so for me, that's that transfer of value, because I want to make sure that you all know how this StreamYard works. And here comes Chase with the super chat. Thank you, Chase. I appreciate you. Another person who's been doing affiliate marketing for ages. Thank you so much. And oh my God, I've learned so much from you. That's what I'm talking about. Value for value. All right. So you guys are saying hi to each other. So I appreciate that. That's what community is all about. And I love, love, love my community. And so I appreciate you all for being welcoming to one another. And this is how we all get to know each other and how we all grow from one another. All right. So we're going to skip. We're just going to talk about monetization on YouTube. Now, I know that everybody isn't qualified for monetization on YouTube, but once you do get qualified for it, there's several ways that you can make money from your YouTube channel. The ads, which is the AdSense program. Oh, and Rob Van Arsdale, long time no see. Great to see you. I hope all is well, and I hope the family is well. You've got the super chats, which you guys have been generous in giving me super chats today. Also, there's another thing you can do, which is a super sticker. And super stickers and super chats are kind of the same. The only difference with the super chat is that you can add text to it. Super stickers is just a little fun animation, but the value and the amounts is still there. But you also have super thanks. Super thanks. And I know a lot of people are not familiar with super thanks. YouTube has been rolling the super thanks out, and I'm not sure what the qualifications are for super thanks, to be honest with you. I have it on my channel. And if you don't know what super thanks is, that means even when I'm not live or I'm not doing a premiere, any video on my channel, and I have 500 videos plus on this channel, underneath the video, you will see a little heart with a dollar sign in it that says thanks. So you don't have to wait until I'm live if you wanted to do the whole value for value thing. You watch one of my pre-recorded videos, or you watch one of the videos in my archive or my portfolio, and you say, hey, I really needed to know how to do this particular thing, and Miss Eileen showed me how to do it. Bam, super thanks. Okay, so just want you to know that you do have to be monetized. I don't know what the requirement is, because like I said, I have it, but I also know my friend Michael Daniels. He's got a YouTube channel. He was one of the early beta testers of it, and he doesn't have like 10,000 subscribers. I think I'm just going to assume he has around 5,000, maybe a little less or a little more. And he's had it even longer than me. So I don't know what the requirement is, except that you need to be monetized. That requirement I do know. All right. So a couple other things you can do with YouTube is the channel memberships. I'm looking up at my list because I have a list up here, and I just want to make sure that I don't forget anything. So with the channel memberships, which I do have the ability to turn that on this channel, however, I have not. Rob says, Are there qualifications for super thanks? How do you enable those? So there you go. I just explained that. So you know what? I'm going to do a little screen share. I'll do a little screen share so you can figure out if you do have it or not. All right, because you do need to turn it on once you have it. All right, so let's put the screen share back up. All right, so you have to go into monetization. I'm in my YouTube studio. All right, I didn't say that at first. I'm in my YouTube studio. All right, in fact, let me come. I don't even need to be on screen. Let me just do screen share, and then also I can take a sip of my water. All right. So when you're on your YouTube monetization, I want you to take note that you have different tabs here. The overviews. Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention merchandise. You can also sell merchandise. All right. Here's the ads, and that's pretty straightforward, whether you have the AdSense and you have it turned on or not. And here's merchandise, like I said. Here's memberships. I said I did not turn mine on yet, but I am qualified. See, set up your membership offer. All right. We're not going to go into all the details of what comes with the membership, but here's supers. And here I want you to see here, you may earn more super chat revenue by following these tips. Okay, this is just a little help article they're linking out to. But here are the three things: super chats, super stickers, or super thanks. Okay, so I wanted you to see that first. And this is just a little history of the people that have recently given me super chats. But on the other hand, I will share the behind the scenes from my daughter's channel, but I need to switch over to that. And I'll show you the message that it says there because I want you all to check to see if you have it as well. All right. So I'm going, because my daughter, oh, I got to say who she is, right? And give her a shout out before I even show you the back end of her YouTube channel. Nicole Purvey. That's Purvy. And her channel is Better Than Success. Okay. So now let's look at Better Than Success. And you see, she has supers. When I go over here to supers, I'm going to just make this bigger, even though I'm going to read what it says to you. It says, you do not have access to super thanks yet. Rest assured, it's coming soon. You'll be notified in your YouTube Studio dashboard when you have access. Okay. And notice that she only has the 2 toggles over here. I showed you earlier that I have 3. So these are turned on, but you have to make sure yours are turned on. Okay. I'm just going to try to highlight this to make sure you are looking at what I'm talking about up at the top. These could be off. YouTube doesn't force you to accept these features. I could turn them off and she could turn them off. So I need you to look and see if you have it on your channel, because you may have missed a notification and you may well have super thanks or super chat or one of the supers and didn't have it turned on. Okay. I can't catch up with you, Eileen. Share so many of you share with us like a treasure trove of information from podcasting and social media platforms. This is why I leave these replays up and I leave them available. A lot of folks who do live streams, they don't leave their live streams up. They don't leave them up publicly because, a lot of times people don't watch the replays. But for me, I think it's valuable to leave them up because, for one thing, I kind of went live impromptu. And so it's not like people got a lot of notification that I was going live. So, and Rob, super thanks are in beta testing. YouTube decides who gets it. We can't turn it on until YouTube gives us. Yes, but James, almost everything you said was right. It's not even in beta testing anymore. They just randomly decide who gets it. And like I said, I have no idea what it's based on. And one thing that I didn't show you was what it looks like on the front end of a YouTube channel. Oh, geez. All of a sudden, oh, I got a little beach ball. It went away. Good. Thanks. Phew. I did not want to have to start this over again. All right. So hang on. Let me just open up one of my videos so you can see it there. And so here you go. Let me take down the comment there. So there underneath the video, I'm going to highlight it. There is that little heart with the dollar sign in it, and that is the super thanks. Okay. So just so you know, you can give your girl super thanks on value for value. I'm going to keep hammering that home, not just for you, but for myself as well. The value, the idea of the value for value. Okay. Because I want you guys to let that marinate in you. So you're not always asking for tips or donations. You're asking for value because I want y'all to give value. Well, I know most of you do. Anyway, Texas made food. How you doing? I love that. Texas made food. You have a great little profile handle there. And USA live streamers saying thanks. And everybody's saying hi. No super thanks on mine. Yes. Like I just showed you my daughter's, and she's got 6,000 plus subscribers. So I have no idea why they don't give it to everyone. But it's not in beta anymore. It's a full-fledged thing. It's just that they don't roll out. And then they say, rest assured, it's coming. You heard me read that to you, right? But guess what? It's been saying that for like 6 months. So rest assured, I'm not really resting. No, I'm just kidding. Some content creators have clips, but some don't. That clips is another thing. And I honestly, I do think that clips are still in beta, but since that doesn't have anything to do with monetization, I'm not going to go down that path. And honestly, I don't use them. Okay. And so people are saying big Texas like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So the next thing that I want to do, and I kind of am, I might come back to YouTube, but I think I'm pretty much done with YouTube. All right. Especially since I think that most people already know a lot about YouTube monetization, and there's a lot out there. But one thing that I want you all to do, if you have a Facebook page, notice that transition, Facebook, and I have a lot of people. I'm live streaming on Facebook as well today, and how I just showed you how you can go into the back end of YouTube and checking your monetization features. I want you to do the same thing on Facebook. And my Facebook page has been monetized for quite some time. Hey, Larry Snow, great to see you. Okay. So Facebook has completely different qualifications and all that stuff for monetization. Honestly, maybe we'll find some of them today. All right, maybe we will, but I'm not going to try to like tell you what they are because I don't have them memorized. All right. So I want you though to go in here and look if you have an active or at least a semi-active Facebook page. Oh, no, that's going to have me covering up, but I'm going to show you. I want you to go into your Facebook page and look to see if you have monetization turned on. Now, this particular page, I do have it. So I'm going to go to a different page here because you all are asking, like, what are the qualifications? And I think it may tell you what some of the qualifications are. I'm not sure. Nope, because here, I didn't even realize that I must be eligible for it on this page. But here's something that I want you to see here is the paid online events, because that came up in both of the uh, videos that I told you inspired me to start this video. One was, I didn't tell you. Oh gosh, I didn't. Sorry, I have to backtrack for a minute. Sorry about that. I just realized I didn't tell you. I told you about Value for Value, and I showed you the Podcast Index website. But there's also two other videos that have inspired today's topic. And one is from my friend Doc Rock. And his video was titled The Truth About Making Money as a Content Creator. Let me try to get that over here. I'm going to post it in the comments. Nope, that doesn't work because it truncates the URL. Hang on one momento. Hang on, they truncate the URL right for me, so I'm sorry, I lost it. And so here we go. Let's get back over into StreamYard. All right, the Facebook user, I will definitely answer your question in a moment. All right, let me get that. That was Doc Rock. All right, and I'll just type his name in there. All right, and the other video was from Sean Cannell at Think Media. And his video was titled, How I Built 21 Streams of Income. All right, so this is my take on these videos. This is my take because what I noticed is, well, in both cases, I shouldn't say what I noticed, but in both cases, Doc and Sean were talking about YouTube in addition to other streams of income. They did not cover it all Facebook. And, you know, that's fine. They just didn't cover it. It was just a different take. So this is my take where I am including Facebook because I want to make sure that you are aware that you may possibly qualify on Facebook. You have to go over there and check. And Larry says the only monetization availability I have for all pages is paid online events. Brilliant. Brilliant, because both Doc Rock and Sean mentioned events as a way of having an income stream. So you can use paid online events in Facebook, and currently Facebook is not taking a cut. And I think that ends in a couple of months. I'm not sure because they keep moving the date out, you know, because of the pandemic and stuff, right? They keep changing the date of when that's going to go away. But the last I heard, it was April, up until the end of April. Give it a try now. With that said, remember I told you, or those of you who weren't here at the very beginning, I said that some of these methods that I'm going to share with you today, I've tried and they did not work for me. And that's one of them. I did try Facebook online events. I can't say I put my heart and soul into it and all of that, but I gave it a try. And although I did make a little money from it, it wasn't enough for me to like focus on that. But if Facebook is your thing and you've got a nice following over on Facebook, I would suggest like give it at least a month of like doing a live. You could go live. That could be your event. Doesn't have to be. You could do a Zoom call. You could do something on your website. You just set it up as an event. But, I'm talking to us live streamers here, most of you. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I missed a question. What do you mean you're done with YouTube as you're going somewhere? No, no, sweetie. I don't mean I'm done with YouTube. Like, I'm just done with talking about it for this conversation. Of course, I'm not. YouTube is my favorite. It's just that I think that you guys all know about most of these YouTube monetization strategies. All right. And there's that information is so abundant. But something that I don't hear people talking about is Facebook. All right. And so another way that you can make money on Facebook, because I've already talked about events and I've told you, and even Larry shared how his page was available. And I think most pages have that availability. I think most pages, and not unless your page is really, really small or you've just started the page, Facebook is not as transparent about all of their qualifications as YouTube is. I shouldn't say they're not as transparent. In this particular case, it's not as easy to find. How about that? It's there. I don't want us to all waste our time poking around trying to find it. All right. How's that? Does that make sense? I hope you're okay with that. Okay, because I love you. I love you too, USA Livestream. All right. So the other way that you can make money on Facebook is with stars. If you have, and they do have a criteria list of you need to have 10,000 likes or followers. Facebook goes back and forth between whether they want you to call them followers or whether you call them likes on your page. That's the one qualification that you do need to have. There may be some others as well, but and Facebook needs to invite you, so you can use Facebook stars. So, and I showed you how to get there. Okay, somebody did ask, how do you get to the studio? And I'm sorry, whoever that was who said, how do we find Creator Studio on Facebook? Can you please just type your name in really quickly or give StreamYard? No, StreamYard may not have access to your name because you could be in one of the private Facebook groups. But let's check it out. It's really super simple. All right, hang on. I'm going to set it up. Make sure I got it right before I share that with you. All right, so let me go back to the screen share. And it is a business. Here's the link. business.facebook.com/creator studio/home. business.facebook.com/creator studio, one word, /home. Okay, so that's how you get to your Creator Studio. And then if you have multiple pages like I do, then, oh, and I just noticed that over here on the right-hand side, see how it's blue? Monetization. So now I'm going to go to a page that I've got some old pages in here that we don't even use anymore. So let me just go to one of those pages. Let me just try this particular page here. It's an e-commerce type page. All right. And yeah, it's eligible. And we haven't posted on this page in a couple of years. All right. This is my daughter's old-fashioned brand, which she doesn't use it anymore. So, you have monetization tools that need to be set up. Okay. And so, of course, people reach zero. Yeah, because we don't post over there anymore. So, and there is this thing that Facebook has inside of their studio, inside of your Creator Studio, to give you inspiration of things that other people have posted that have got a lot of views. So it's kind of like the trending content on Facebook. Now, let me just see. You see here we have fishermen Capitals and Titanic. Let's see if this is the same inspiration when I go to a different page. Let's just see. I think it would be, but let's just double check. I'm going to go to my regular page and scroll down there. Oh no, it was just blue because I was in that section. So let's go to the inspiration section. Yeah, it's the same thing. Fisherman, Capitals, and Titanic with cat. Okay, so there you go. You're welcome. You are welcome. And yeah. So I have stars on this page here. And value for value. Some of my friends have given me stars. In fact, Larry Snow's one that has, uh, who's in the audience today, has in the past given me stars on my Facebook page. Now, I haven't, here you go, something about the way it's changing. So, in the last 7 days, well, the stars work, they do work on replays, just like Super Thanks. So if you're on Facebook and you wanted to do the value for value thing with me, go to any of my past posts on Facebook and you'll see that you can give me stars. Isn't that cool? So here you go. Remember, I said I tried the paid online events and I made $3.98. So, and I may have been able to uh, get more. But at that time, I decided I didn't want to focus on that because, I spend most of my time on YouTube. But here we go. Subscriptions. That's another thing you can do on Facebook. All right, I'm going to make that bigger because this is a lot of white space on this page here. Subscriptions. I'm not eligible for it, but you see here, it does lay out the eligibility. You have to have 10,000 followers or 250 returning viewers, 50,000. You got to have a whole lot of people watching your stuff on Facebook in order to be qualified for these subscriptions. But it's there. I want you to know that it's there. And Instant Articles, I absolutely don't know anything about the Instant Articles, but there's another way that you can monetize. And of course, since we're talking about Facebook, you got to know that, that also includes Meta. I mean, we're really still talking about Meta. So, there's other opportunities on Instagram as well, which we're not going to cover today because I just want to give you the inspiration to explore these things on your own. All right. I don't want you to just be stuck and thinking, I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube. Hey, have you looked over on your Facebook and seen, checked your monetization tab? Oh, you just found out you could do events and get paid? Try it. Try it. Okay. I said I've only made $3.98. Okay. But that was $3.98. Okay. So these pennies add up. All right. You got to be consistent. You got to do value for value and all that. All right. So Facebook changes the name to Meta, right? Yep, they sure did. And don't know why everybody's still calling it Facebook and Instagram. Hello, blind guy, his wife there, life watching and cooking, but had to chat when you mentioned the Facebook stars. I never understood those. It's just like a super chat. That's it. Facebook stars is just like a super chat. Qualifications are a little higher, but like I said, they invite you to the stars program. I don't know why Facebook loves to invite me to these programs. I really don't, but they do. And it could be because they see my presence on YouTube. That could be it. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not knocking it. I ain't mad at them. But, it's nice to have that extra income stream. All right. Now, they have a whole threshold that you don't get paid until you reached $100. And so you know, it's probably going to take me a while to reach that next threshold. Okay. But I keep hanging in there and it's okay. Because whenever it happens, I'll just be grateful. All right. All right. And what are you cooking? Blind guy, his wife, their life. Laquita. What you cooking, girl? All right. So let's talk about some of the other things that we can do. Now, we talked about events, but what about being a public speaker? Public speaking at other events, by putting yourself out there as an expert and sharing your expertise. That may be when someone is having a conference, and it could be an online. It does not have to be a physical conference. It could be an online summits. People are doing this stuff all the time. They may invite you to speak. So you may think about getting yourself ready and making sure that you have like a list of some of your accomplishments and places that you've appeared and things like that. And Larry Snow, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you for the super chat. Now that's value for value. Actually, a super sticker, but it's the same. I'd have to go over there and see what the little sticker is doing. Oh, you are amazing. Thank you, Larry. I see it. Okay. So now let's talk about some other things. Some other things that are not as dependent on social networks. All right. And that could be you could set up a coaching program or create some courses. Now, for courses, personally, I use Teachable, but there's Thinkific, there's Kajabi, there's Mighty Network, I believe. These are things that I haven't tried, right? But my friends use them, and I know that they're very good programs that don't have complaints and things like that, and the software is not buggy. You want to look for trusted, uh, well-established platforms. Even Udemy. Udemy is a little different where Udemy has a marketplace. You don't have as much control with Udemy, and I've used Udemy before. That's actually how I got started with online courses. And you just never know. Even though I have a YouTube course, it's got to be 6 years old. So it's outdated. I haven't updated the course. But you'd be surprised out of nowhere, all of a sudden I'll get a sale because Udemy is running sales. And so it's kind of like a package deal where they'll say 80% off on all these courses, and somebody sees the course and they just say 80% off. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to take my course down because the concepts are still relevant, even though YouTube has changed and all that. So, and a lot of these things that we've been talking about today, like super thanks and super stickers and super chat, wasn't even out when I created that course. But the concepts of, making and getting views on YouTube, because that's what the channel was about. I mean, that's what the course is about, getting views on YouTube. They're still the same. So that's why I leave the course there, even though anybody can see the date of when the course was created. Okay. So if you have more evergreen topics, like, for example, Blind Guy, his wife, their life, Laquita does cooking. She's vegan, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that kind of stuff is evergreen. Talk about vegan cooking and, vegan recipes, or you can put those together for a course also to do consulting and coaching. So, what I could do is to coach people on how to create courses. Like, I'm actually coaching you today about making money online. And one of the things that I'm trying to get across to you is to not put yourself in a box. Don't limit yourself, even though we've talked about some titans of uh, making money online, like Sean Canal and uh, Doc Rock. We're talking about, but even what I always say is, when you follow someone, even myself, take what you learned and then make it your own. So this is why I'm adding my twist to these things. Oh my goodness, cook and grill stuffed burritos. The family likes these, plus they can carry them for lunch. That sounds so cool. Grilled stuffed burritos. Oh my goodness. I tell you, you're not in Philadelphia? Darn it. It's actually snowing out today, so I would have to come and, stalk your kids and look in their lunch boxes. All right, so here's another thing, and this was from one of Sean Canal's Think Media. I'll just say Think Media in case I'm pronouncing his last name wrong. Think Media's suggestions was about cash back on business credit cards. And I have definitely not gotten cash back, but been the benefactor of cash back because my lovely daughter, Nicole Purvey, whenever I go to visit her, because, I'm in Philadelphia, she's in the suburbs of LA, and typically I fly first class, and that's because of the points and cash back that she's had on her credit card, her business credit card. Now, let me just say, the last time, let me tell you a little story. The last time I went was during a time when she wasn't able to, she had used her points for her best friend to come out there. And so there was like right after that, it was like, oh, and so she needed to like build up some more points. So I said, well, let me just go out here and get my own ticket. I can get my own ticket to go see my girl. Honey child, when I saw those tickets was 5 and $6,000. And that wasn't even first class. I said, what? They actually charge that kind of money for people to get on the plane? So that I said, oh, can you just look for a ticket for me and coach? It's first classes. Even though I love the leg room, y'all know, right? So that's what we had to do. So last time I was roughing it. In fact, on my way home, I even had to do a connecting fly. I ain't fly direct, but that's okay because the next time I go. But that's just one example of the business credit card cash back. So this is something that any of you who have a business, if you don't have a business, you get an LLC. If you're thinking about like, man, I should get a business, you got to do your whole taxes and all that stuff. Okay. But you can get business credit cards. But I recommend that you talk to an expert like my daughter, and she's got some on her channel about business credit cards. And, establish yourself as a business first with the LLC, not just wake up one morning and say, I have an idea. This is a business. No, you got to make it legit. Okay. So, because there's more to it than that. All right. So let's see. One more thing that I want to cover. There's a bunch of things on these lists, but one more thing that I want to cover is something that just hitchhike with those air prices. You with those airline prices, you got that right. And the Janine is here. Video for bosses. Hello, my love. And so there is another income stream. And I always have to, say Nicole Purvey, Purvy, my daughter, you know, she's my shero. This is something I haven't seen on anybody else's list because she always comes up with these ideas that she doesn't want to do what everybody else is doing. All right. So what is she doing now? We had a powwow, her whole team, because I'm on the team. We all got together, and this was an idea that she decided. And I'm not going to reveal the whole thing because it's her, it's her thing, and she just rolled it out to certain people. Starting her own affiliate program. Hmm. Have you thought about that? Now, that's one thing I like about Teachable as my online course platform. And I guess some of the other platforms do that as well. Is that if I wanted to, I can designate some people and say, these are my affiliates, and they can sell my courses and they can, get a cut of. Now my daughter's is structured a little different. First of all, she doesn't even like the fact of being called affiliates because that's just like what everybody else is doing, right? So she's got a special name for hers and all that stuff. And so I definitely, will reveal more of this as it goes along because she just did it the other day. And so um, it's something to just think about. When we think about affiliate marketing and we know how profitable it can be, and anybody can get started with affiliate marketing. But once you have that audience, once you have built up, surrounded yourself with other experts, right? And you're hanging out with the right people, you may think about having your own affiliate program. I'm talking long term here, but hey, I'm going to plant the seed. I'm going to plant the seed, and I want you to think about that as you're doing things, even if you're just like mapping it out on paper and saying, if I were to have an affiliate program, who would I want on my team? Or I'm in this affiliate program. What is it that I like about this affiliate program that I can integrate into mine when I have an affiliate program one day? Okay. So it's something to think about. And so I'm just going to do a quick recap. All right. Because like I said, I want you all to really think about all the different ways. And I want you to think outside the box. Is your daughter's channel better than success? Yes. Better than success. Yes, 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 yes. And you know what? Since I went to her YouTube and showed you some of her behind the scenes, I think I better post a link there, giving her credit. And also, if you want to follow her on Instagram, if you're on Instagram and you're active, I got to tell you, now I guess I'm a little biased. My daughter has a banging Instagram feed. She really does. So it's Instagram.com/Nicole Purvy, Purv as in Victor, Y. Purvy. And especially her stories if she's doing reels. So those are there now. And she's got a videographer coming in. She's not just, using her phone. Sometimes she does use her phone, but she's taking things constantly moving to the next level. So she was doing them with her phone for a long time. And now she's, like I said, she's got a videographer coming in, working with her to, so these are all things that you can think about when you're thinking about monetizing. Chaos Rain, thank you so much. But I just want to make sure that you know that it's ILEA. even though I have it up on the screen. I can't have you spelling my name wrong. It's not Irene, it's Eileen, Ileane. See, I want you to think about tonight when you get ready to go to bed and you say, what happened to me today? What kind of day did I have? And then you say, oh, yeah, that's right. Ileane. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. Oh, she's beautiful like her mom. Thank you, darling. She is beautiful and she's a beautiful spirit. And yeah, people try to impersonate her and all that old crazy stuff. I'm like, gosh. And Mike from Never Let the Machines Win NLTMW is here. Hey, Mike. All right, so that's okay, Chaos Rain. I just want to make sure you know. All right, so let's just do a quick recap. We talked about YouTube monetization and affiliate marketing. We really started the show off with talking about something that most people don't talk about, which is the value for value. And it uses Bitcoin and all that stuff and something called Satoshis. I don't know a lot about it, but I want you to explore it because you may school me in one of your videos, right? So, and I've got links. Let me make sure you know where to find all the links. I'll put that up because their links are in the description on YouTube. So even if you're watching this on Facebook, know all you have to do is go to eileen.link/2022money. And eventually I'm going to change that link to the blog post that's going to have this video embedded in it. And I'll have more resources there for you as well. And let's see. Nice seeing. Oh, USA live stream. You're such a doll, such a darling. Okay, so we talked about Facebook monetization because I don't want y'all to sleep on Facebook monetization. Because I know that everybody doesn't, building up YouTube takes a lot of time. Not saying that building up Facebook doesn't take a lot of time. I'm not saying that. But you may already have the audience on Facebook. Sorry. You may already have the audience on Facebook. So start where you can, get in where you fit in. That's what they used to say. And by the way, talking about affiliate marketing, StreamYard, I absolutely love. And, I've been looking at my background here and how much I like it today, but they've got other ones too that I could be using. I could use that one. Or how about this? Did you know that StreamYard had this stuff is built in? Okay, and purple, that's another one of my colors because that's the color of all of my The Anchor Show stuff, right? Yeah, and this, of course, you can upload your own. And so this was one that I made for myself using Canva. All right, let's go back to Tropical Summer. That's not the one I started off with, but that's the one we're going with right now. Okay, so yes, and the link for StreamYard is in the description. My screen is black. Anyone else? Yeah, it's got to be just you. So refresh. YouTube does have problems sometimes, but hang on. Let me just double check. Yeah, no, I can't double check right at this moment. Not that way, anyhow. Nope, it's not black. It's not black. I just looked. Okay. So let's see. I think I'm finished with the recap. I talked about the cash back, the value for value, which is an important one that I want to make sure that you're all familiar with. And that link is in the YouTube video description. I talked about courses and coaching. And I did not cover uh, rental income. I'm just going to speak about that briefly because, as you know, talking about my daughter and Better Than Success, her thing is a real estate. She's got a real estate league, so she invests in real estate, but she also has that stream of income of making money from the membership that she runs that is related to real estate. So, um, 3 years ago, who lost track of time with this whole pandemic. I say 3 years ago that she helped me with the property that I was left a property. My sister and myself were left a property by my parents, and my mom passed away in 2010. And anyway, I had this family home, and rest in peace. I have to can't say it without saying rest in peace. And so her contractors, or I shouldn't say her contractor, but she connected me with a contractor. He came in, we remodeled the house, and we sold it. So, or I should say I sold it, because what I did was I bought my sister out. I need to look at the follow backgrounds. I haven't checked them out yet. Oh, yeah, the backgrounds inside of StreamYard they're right on the brand tab. And of course, I have a video to show you how it goes. Color. Yeah, not follow color. It's all good for me. Okay, thanks for letting me know. No blank screen. And then USA live stream says sorry. Oh, yeah, about my parents. So anyway, um, and then we took that money, the proceeds, I took some of the proceeds from that, and my daughter and myself, acquired a multifamily property together. And that rental income, because we had to do the whole thing, gut it out, remodel it, and do. And, this is what she teaches people how to do. Because I'm saying it like we just did this, this is it. No, this stuff you got to know what you're doing. It takes time, okay? And you got to know how the money, how to get that stream of income. It's just not like, oh, do this, and this. You really need to know what you're doing. And so it's important, because a lot of people that come to her membership will say, they got ripped off. They got ripped off. They took court. There's people that say they spent thousands and thousands of dollars just on courses and didn't learn, still didn't know what to do until they found my daughter and Better Than Success Real Estate League. Because I love her to pieces, but it's not just her, it's the whole community. That's why it's a league. Okay. And so anyway, this is what happens when you build community, and you make sure that the people that are part of your community have integrity, and that they have expertise, or you train people so that they can build up their expertise, and then all boats rise together. Okay. And so this is what is going on. So I just always want you guys to think beyond, because, when she tells the story, sometimes when she talks on stage about how she started off, I was a single parent. Well, I'm still a single parent, and we were in a 1 bedroom apartment. We didn't have anything. No, she slept in the bedroom, and I slept on the sofa bed in the living room. And the first time she told that story, I was like, "Oh yeah, that did happen." You kind of forget. Had to remember, yeah, we did come from there. And so, no matter where you are now, try to always think ahead of where you could be or where you want to be. And I've gone over a list of ways that you can create income streams, but don't let any of that stop you from finding others or creating others. And I want you to let me know what it is that you have done. And Wayne is here. Hey, Wayne, thank you so much for coming. I'm shutting things down now, but thank you so much for coming. So, don't limit yourself. I'm all about, making sure that your voice gets heard, making sure that you know how to use these different technologies and all the things that you can do online. But I also want to nurture your mind and want you to think beyond like what you were thinking about in 2021. Okay. And, last time I live streamed, I talked about what are you going to say no to? So I just gave you a list of things in your mind. You were thinking, no, I'm not going to do that. Nope, I'm not going to do that. And that's good. That's great. But I also want you to take stock of what it is you're doing now. You're spending time on TikTok. You're spending time on Instagram. You're spending time on Facebook, on YouTube. Are these things helping you reach your goals? Or are you just doing it because, oh, yeah, I heard the guru told me I need to do this? And you're really not. It's really not working for you. Don't spend too much time. Don't waste too much time. Give it a try. But one day say, I'm not doing that anymore. Like for me, TikTok, I'm not doing it. I got a couple of videos up there, some repurposed stuff that I had already put somewhere else. But I don't have time. There's nothing wrong with TikTok. All those that are using it, great. Even Instagram. I barely use it. That's just me because I can't be committed to my YouTube, have all these opportunities waiting for me on Facebook because Facebook is inviting me to all these programs. They haven't invited me to nothing on Instagram, right? Twitter. Most people on YouTube don't even use Twitter. What is wrong with you all? That's the quickest, easiest, fastest way to make connections and promote your stuff. But that's okay. If you said no to Twitter, everybody has to do what's comfortable for them. Everybody has to do what they feel is part of their wheelhouse. But I just want you to know, instead of always thinking about, should I add this? Should I do this? Should I do that? No, think to yourself, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. And I'm eliminating that because it's not working for me. A lot of people don't have a website. There is no way y'all don't even want me to tell y'all how many websites I have. Oh, no, I'll tell you. EileenSmith.com, TheAnchorShow.com, and I still have BasicBlogTips.com. I haven't posted on there since 2018. And do you know I get requests for backlinks to people want to buy backlinks on Basic Blog Tips, or they want to pay me to guest post on Basic Blog Tips. I get them every day. Every day. I'm not doing it, but I get those requests every day. And that's what happens when you build up. When you build up a portfolio, when you show that commitment, when you have a great content, that value for value, this is what happens. All right, so I'm going to get off my soapbox with you. I had to turn my phone off and on, but thanks, Miss Eileen, for this. I have a Twitter disability that I'm overcoming. And I'm not trying to convince anybody to stop what they're doing to do something else. All I'm saying is that take it from someone who has been doing this stuff since 2009. Twitter is the easiest, fastest, quickest way to build community and promote your content. It's just Twitter. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that don't even spend time on there. All their stuff is automated. Go on to Twitter. So it's not even about wasting time. You have to focus where your priority is. Amen, Sister Janine. And collaborations. One of the things I didn't cover, I'm just going to say this on my way out, was the JV partnerships. Yeah, I did one of those last year and it worked out okay. Because I didn't have to do anything. Basically, the person asked me would I promote their thing, and they gave me a nice cut and made a couple sales. I didn't do nothing except like add a link to my email in one of my emails. And it's a great product because I also got access to the product. So I got a chance to go through it and find out that it was good. Recommended it to my people. A couple people, there was a nice little partnership. Now, of course, you could make that bigger and bigger. But I, you know, it was what it was. And that's another thing for you guys to think about. Whilst I did my 100-day challenge on YouTube, everything else had to go on the back burner in terms of social media. Yes, that 100-day challenge was, I wish I would have been there at the very beginning, but I was glad that I got in there when I did. And every time I could come to your 100 days, I was there to support you. But I got to tell you guys, a lot of challenges I think are amazing, an amazing way to actually push yourself and to hold yourself accountable, and also to build up that muscle of build up that muscle. Do you see these guns? No, not that kind of muscle of producing content. Challenges are amazing, but you can do just like Janine did. Challenge yourself. I'm not saying that you don't, if you're doing a challenge with someone else, I'm not saying, oh, don't do it or whatever. If you're in a challenge, keep doing what you're doing. But you don't have to rely on someone else to have a challenge in order for you to challenge yourself. You know, I live streamed, like even Pat Flynn did the live stream every day for a year. Yeah, I did more than that. Yeah, I live streamed every day for a year plus because I was in a challenge. And not because every 6 months I said, it's been so many days. No, I just did it. I did it. And so when people talk about, being afraid to get on camera, I kind of like have to like remember what it was like in 2012, 10 years ago, which was my first time going live on Google Hangouts on air. And I was nervous as I don't know what. The night before, I had, butterflies in my stomach and probably didn't sleep well. I have to remember. Where, not where. I'm trying to be more consistent on Twitter. Yeah, you've been doing great on Twitter. You're welcome, my dear. Yes, elbow cough. Yes. You know, so challenge yourself. You don't have to brag about it. They say that sometimes about doing those random acts of kindness. You don't have to tell everybody. It's for you. It's for you to build up your confidence and for you to have that self-satisfaction that you did an accomplishment, or that you've given something away to someone who needed it, whatever the case may be. But I just want want to put some thoughts and plant some seeds in your head. And it's, even when you think about this whole concept of making money online, you could do the whole thing to support a cause. Because I know somebody's thinking, I don't want to make money. I don't need to make money on you. Yeah, but maybe you just want to do a drive, a donation drive, or a charity support. Have you ever thought about doing that? All right. So I've given you enough to chew on for today. When I start my broadcast, I always say, hello, beautiful people. And that's because it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or you're non binary. You, if you found me, you have a beautiful message inside of you that needs to come out. However, you might be a little afraid to get on camera. You might be a little like confused by the technology and just not know what button to push. That's why I'm here. That's my job, to show you what buttons to push, give you that confidence so that you will get in front of that camera and be like, ta da! Or as Janine would say, da 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 da. All right. So I want to inspire you, my beautiful people. And as I always say, when I'm shutting down my broadcast, stay beautiful.